Hi folks, I've got a new apron. Oh, I'll show you my vizog. There we are, it's snowing away outside. Sun's trying to come through, showers everywhere, snow showers. See that logo, J Cheeky, that's my apron. My son's the head pastry chef for the group that owns the Ivy and Cheeky's and Caprice, if you're rich enough to go to those places. He's their guy. So I scrounged it off him. Right, let's just get that. There we go. I'll zoom out a little bit. Oops. Right, there we go. So it's not been used, but it soon will be abused. The reason I got it is because my knees, when you sit down with these things on, the bottom of the aprons tend to rise up if they're not big enough. And I'm going to get my wife just to let in 3 or 4 inches on the neck halter, so that it will come down and it'll be nice and comfortable and cover my knees, because this is a messy business for the old knife painting. So, sort out my 2 knives that are mostly used. These are the spare ones. I use that one for edges of houses, roofs and things. The others are just, well, I don't like that one, but these 2, that's the one I use. The small one and the large trowel shaped one. Get the best. I did 2 watercolours yesterday, one on Patreon and one on YouTube. You see the amounts of paint I use on these things. You'll feel sorry for me and come and have a look at Patreon for next to nothing. Okay, so what I've done, I'm using a bit of the Winsor & Newton £90 paper, which is very, very good, lovely watercolour paper, but I don't like all the paintings I do and I demonstrate. They're demonstrations after all, they're not great great gallery pieces. So what I'm going to do is a version of this. Now it's snowing outside, but I'm going to paint that in summer. I took that photograph 3 weeks ago in the Somerset Levels. We went to a funeral down there. Sadly, it was for an old friend who was my son's, one of his college lecturers when he did 2 years chef training before he did his another 4-year apprenticeship at Claridge's in Thames Valley University, and he was a very well sought after chef. So he does charity events with Jamie Oliver and Rick Stein, although they get huge sums of money, which they usually donate to the charity. My son just gets his salary. So in the group there's Scott's, the Caprice, Cheeky's, Daphne's, Annabelle's. And Annabelle's is coming up for something like a £90 million refurb or rebuild. There's my big. You need a lot of paper with this. The Sexy Fish, the latest one. And there's loads of little ivies popping up over the country. He doesn't have anything to do with those, but oh, it's lovely to have the odd jaunt to these restaurants, see how the other half live. Right, not us, I can assure you. I'll the camera's just dropped down a bit. Okay. Right, that's more or less square. Okay, so I'm going to put in a sky first of all, cloudy sky. So I'm going to have a bit of touch of black and a touch of raw sienna and a load of white to give me a sort of a grey, a warmish grey background light cloud, and then I'll put some slightly darker cloud over it. But it's I like that type of sky, but I wanted quite a sombre picture. So let's just put that in, get it nice and thin, because I don't want too much merging with the background. It's quite a tricky operation, knife painting, but it's well worth the effort to have a go. I know I get quite a few unlikes on these because you like the watercolours, but I paint what I like, my channel. So there. You can cover quite a lot of ground, but you can overdo these things. I will put some impasto. Oh, we have through the winter we have a multi-fuel burner going, and we've got down to our last 25 kilograms of coal, and the guy's just turned up with a delivery. God, lucky to get it, because I think after tomorrow, I think the UK is going to be under quite a few inches of snow. Maybe these, what I do with this paper is to prime it with a bit of burnt umber or burnt sienna, acrylic, mixed in with some PVA glue, and paint it prime it both sides, but one side with the colour. On the low horizon. And when you experience doing this, you can run out of paint, but mix it up quite easy, a similar tone. Just practice. Let's get that a bit more yellow in there, or ochre. This surface, although it's slightly rough, it's not hot pressed, is it's got a nice grain to it. The Fabriano is quite a pattern in the pressing, because it's obviously machine made paper. Although all watercolour paper seems to be a good support for knife work. But the thing is, if the oil and the paint will soak through the paper if you don't prime it with the PVA glue, and it makes it hard to stick to a board if you want to frame it like an oil painting. And I can do some sort of impasto on that. Let's get some more white. Touch of yellow ochre. Touch of thick. Just put some nice knife work in there. And we'll have a bit of black and a bit of ultramarine. Supposed to be on the bike ride this morning, but too dangerous at our age. That's along the River Wandle. This one is the River Parrett. Right. Just to remind me. Right, let's get some. I like the way the clouds, the very light clouds, streak across the sky with the background of warmer colours behind. Don't want to repeat myself, which I've just done. So we'll change that. We'll change that. not a lot of colour. Touch of red in there, I think. Cad red. Don't want too much down here. I love doing these, as you've probably gathered. Well, let's change. Let's add a bit of variety to that. Let's add a bit of alizarin. Change the paper. Just a touch of colour in some of this. Don't want to look in too monotonous. You can be very creative with this, like I'm not really, am I? But let's just change some of that. It's just too. Bit better. Oh, let's put the dark bits in here. Right, let's get over the other side to there. Take it off the paper, off the edge. Otherwise it looks as if you're just filling in between the edges. Now I don't want to go too low with this now, because that's where I'm going to put in the trees. Just one nice bit of light in the middle. Okay, so let's get a smear paint off of that, and I'm going to put in some greens, some black, yellow, burnt sienna. Just mix it all up on the palette. And for my sort of darks, let's get a larger one in. Get a nice yellow. Try and keep some air in the sky holes. Black and cadmium yellow light make wonderful greens. So we want a bit of distance as well. We'll put a little bit of distance. A bit of black in with that blue. put some of that just in there. This is just background. Do some sky holes. It's quite difficult to do with a knife, but the idea is to leave holes in your foliage for the birds to fly through. I love putting reds with the greens. Let's come along here. See, that black is such a fabulous mixer. Plenty of warmth, sort of like an autumny feel to it. There we go, dark along the horizon here. We can superimpose carefully our stuff over the top of it. The idea at the end of the day is to make an attractive piece of work. Easier said than done, of course. But don't throw all your watercolours away that you don't like, because you can use them for acrylic or knife painting or oil painting. Watercolour paper is a lovely surface for this sort of thing. I'm not worried too much about where the light is coming from. I just want to get a painting done. But they do take a little while. But I'm doing this for you YouTubers, so you're not neglected. Alright, let's get some nice. I'm going to waste the thing is, you waste a lot of paint doing these. There's enough paint on this to do 2 or 3. Alright, let's come up here for the look at that nice lovely green. Look at that, that's just using black with warm colours, yellows, reds, siennas, burnt sienna. My colours are mostly Winsor & Newton, Winton student quality. I'll just let some of that show through. Get some more black in there. Look at that. I think that's nice. Alright, that we need just to come down here a little bit. Before we put in a bit of river. We're going uphill there a bit, so we'll change that. It'll give a nice contrast to the fields. Okay, right, we've got. I like that. You might not, but I do. Right, so let's put in a bit of the river now. Plenty of slightly off white. We'll go around there. the River Parrett. Work from the top to the bottom with all this. Otherwise you will find your fingers getting in the mix. Okay, now we're going to come round there with that. So let's get in some ochre, some yellow, some white. Plenty of white. See, the alkyd resin paint helps it all to dry. More green in there, so cad yellow and lovely black. Got some nice greens. Get it all soft. A lovely green is using cerulean blue, so I'm going to bung some of that out. Oh god, this paint's getting stiff. It must be 20 years old, this tube. Just use a little bit of that. Get some more brilliant greens in as we come down through the painting. Oh, there we are. Let's get some of that in there. And mix some white with it. Put some of the water, the green stuff in, and then we'll do some of the banks. Get the shape of the river right. So we'll use a bit of black and a bit of burnt sienna for that, and a bit of green maybe. Have a bit of shadow coming up there. Just using that glorious black with a burnt sienna and a bit of red. Queen of colours. Not much all over your fingers and all over my screen. Yeah. Put a push in here. Okay. Put some light in there. Come in the corner. Not always sure where the knife is. Put the sky reflected in that. Right, go to the other side. If you like knife painting, I've said it so many times, then have a look at Kathleen Williams. K-Y-F-F-I-N. Kathleen. Sir Kathleen. Died 2004, I think. 2004. A premier knife painter, all his life, fabulous. I often look at his work for inspiration, but he tended to use rather drab colours on a much larger scale than I'm using here. Reeds on. I'm not going to try and paint finely, it's a lost cause with me, but I want lights and warms in here, rough. Now remember that foreground's doing quick. And leave them alone. So we can still get our little bits of light in them. Just fields of rough burnt sienna, raw sienna, red, and like a bush. Like that. Let's take that out. Overdid that. That's supposed to be a bit of a bush there. If I make it slightly greener with a bit of black. Cad yellow, lights, bit of black, bit of red. I'm going to get a dark, lovely dark green on there. What I'm trying to do is show some ripples in there. Thumb in it. Right, okay, we're coming to life, aren't we, slowly? So let's get some of those lovely colours. I'm going to change the knife now because I'm being right-handed. Oh, I've got my feet twisted up in the carpet. Right. Sort of a bushy bank. Right, the darks. Put some reflections in there. I'm sure most oil painters famous have used knives in their work. And we'll have good dark, good warm greeny dark. In here. Light against dark. This is definitely my favourite way of painting. Okay, but there's not much more I want to do with that. I quite like it. I'll just clean my hands. I'll find a piece of cloth. Hold on. I've got loads of it. Loads of cloth. But some is good for watercolour and some is good for oil painting, for wiping your hands. So the thinner cotton is better for this sort of stuff. Well, probably an old pillowcase. Right, now we'll put it in a mount and hopefully got a clip ready. That more or less will fit. Okay, I'll just put that on there. Oh no. Nail clip. Oh, it's impossible trying to keep everything clean, especially when I'm working. So there we are, the River Parrett. I didn't copy, I just used it as a base, as an aid memoir of a sad day in some ways. But that film was 73, same age as me. And we don't last forever. No, I just wonder if I could just put a couple of white highlights on there. Just as ripples. There's a bit more greeny dark in there. There we are, I like that. Hope you do too. The thing is, if you've got a busy landscape, you don't really want a busy sky, but and I've made that quite busy there, but it's a demonstration. I would suggest that you try these things. They're lovely to do, and you never know. You just never know what's going to happen, what you're going to come up with. We're making paintings, not copies of photographs. It's impressionist painting, really. And I love doing them. Don't need any branches or trunks or anything like that. We're just suggesting, we've just made suggestions. We could do with a little bit more paint on there. I would just carefully put that in. Now that can be stuck to a piece of hardboard, so hopefully the oil won't soak through, but if it does, well, we'll be long gone. Thanks for watching, folks. Leave comments, any questions, but give it a go. I was encouraging Alan Owen this morning to get his oil paints out, and he's worried about the solvents, as am I, but there's no solvents used in this. This is just linseed oil mixed with a pigment. No horrible brush cleaners, no mediums to thin, just straight out of the tube and onto the board, canvas, whatever you're working on. Okay, see you soon. Goodbye.